Okay, so on the topic of nightmares and what triggered mine, I had created some boundaries with a certain somebody, and I was starting to like backpedal on that. So, IRL, I was just kind of trying to compromise and trying to speak on my feelings and my needs, but then also trying to go backwards with my standards. And I thought that was gonna go over well, but instead they just started ghosting me again, which is a habit they usually have when they're not getting exactly what they want from me, which is just lusty dusty energy. And granted, that aspect was pretty like fiery. I was dealing with the fire sign, and technically, if you count Ophiuchus, the 13th astrological sign, I am a fire sign, but as it stands, I'm an earth sign with an air moon. Wow, the AC when it shuts off is so dramatic. So dramatically different. So I did not think it'd be too big a deal, even though I knew it was. Tell me why. I woke up from the worst nightmare at like 5-ish a.m., like 5:30 or something like that. I don't know. It was horrible. It was horrid. Picture this, like you're just all over your skin, all over your body. There are these worms coming out, and you're pulling them out. Like I was pulling them out, and each time I did it, it was just like difficult because they were slippery, they were painful, and they were all over. They just kept multiplying, and it didn't matter. Like I was frantically like trying to get them all out, and they were just like, and at one point, my right hand, my palm, I pulled out three that were like tethered together. And at the very base of them, there was like these huge cherries of like clots. And that was like the most painful one. But even in my dream, like I went to sleep like thinking, okay, I just need a break. Like, oh my God, I just need a break. And I would wake up with the feeling, and they were just in me. And so yanking them out, pulling them out, just like exhausted. Even in my dream, I could not get any reprieve. And so I woke up and I was like, what the hell was that? And I Googled it, and it immediately told me what it meant, and that the skin represents, your boundaries and your inhibitions. And then the worms are the like invader species, like the ones that are parasitically tearing down your boundaries and your sense of safety and sense of balance. And that's something that I've worked really hard on cultivating ever since this person broke my heart. Granted, I let them in. But I when I fall for someone, it's usually pretty strong. And that's something I've also worked on, is just like, take it slower. Don't be in such a hurry to fall like that. Or that fast. Like really get to know them and see if you guys actually aligned, which we did not. We totally did not. I was just kind of taken aback by this connection because it was more spiritually tethered than I expected, or that I really even understood at the time. Like, I've never heard of twin flame, and this was a false twin flame. Like, let me get that clear. It's not my real twin flame. It was a karmic situation because it was the catalyst for so many lessons, and it really helped me access like so many parts of me that I had like buried and honestly thought that would never surface again. And so that's why it was kind of hard too. It's just like having to say goodbye to the old me and also the me that saw myself with this person. They also were like future faking me. Like the way they would flirt was just extra. They didn't need to go that far with it, but they were really, I don't know. I think the intensity of it kind of snuck up on both of us, but at the same time, we were just out of control, obsessed and addicted, and it was so imbalanced and so unhealthy. And so it became too much for me. I remember like after talking to them for a few weeks, I was just like, I can't do this. And it's like he didn't want to let me go and I didn't want to let it go, but I just couldn't handle it. And then like the dream, the nightmare I just talked about, that happened like this last time, the very last time I decided, I'm like, I'm never talking to them again. Because after that dream, I made sure I texted them. I was like, you know what? No, honestly, I can't go back to my boundaries. Like, I just can't do that. My subconscious, my ancestors, like, I didn't say all this, but like literally my Archangel Michael, Azrael, all of them, my guardian angel, like my spirit guides, like none of them. My ancestors are fierce, by the way. They're fierce. And I think I even have like underworld beings that help me because I've thanked them and needed them during like my dark nights of the soul. So I just have this whole other aspect to me when I try to backtrack on all the self-respect and self-love that I have cultivated, you know? So I let them know. I was like, nope, it's not gonna work. And honestly, never heard from them again. Like, I expected to hear something, but what are they gonna say? Truthfully. But it still stung, you know? But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not about to have these freaking nightmares every time I sleep. Like, I was peaceful before this, before I was trying to settle for less than what I deserve. I was doing good. Like, but it was just something about how they were pulling on my energy and I could still feel that. And so I wanted to check in. I shouldn't have even gone there, but it was fine. It helped me with like the final closure because I'm like, yeah, no, this is always going to be toxic and I'm good. I deserve better and I'm good. So yeah, I blocked them again and I'll never speak to them again. And that is how it should be because they even got warnings when we were like talking the first couple of times. Like they kept getting warnings and they were thousands of miles away. And some trippy ass shit kept happening to them. And it was definitely a warning to them. Like I had some things that were happening to me, but it was mostly my chakras. Like I was always rubbing my third eye because I was always stressed about this person. I also had some like protective feelings, you know, over my heart, over my sacral, over my solar plexus. And I mean, I just had a lot of like physical reassurance that was comforting and protective. And they were having their alarm trip off, they were having their electronics frying, they were just having a lot of weird stuff happening over there. And I was just like, sounds like you're being warned for messing with my heart because I was being pure. Like honestly, I was coming from a very like pure heart space and that was just how I operate. They probably didn't believe me half the time. But it's just something that I bring to the table and that I value much more about myself now. I don't see it as a weakness anymore. I'm like, no, that's a strength in me. And because I offer this like really authentic energy, it can be addictive for somebody else who maybe isn't able to express themselves in that way too. Because like not only was it like this like physical connection, it was also this spiritual and emotional connection, and they weren't used to connecting like emotionally. So it was like I was a catalyst for them too to kind of like unlock that part of themselves if they wanted to. But for me, they also were a catalyst on like how to stop self-abandoning and just realizing that I had some like even childhood issues with that. And so I was able to go back and heal those things and dissect those and honor those feelings so that I didn't try to recreate the same unreciprocated, unrequited love, because I realized I'm like, this is a pattern. I need to stop. So I was able to put an end to that. But yeah, I am doing good just being by myself and taking care of myself and spending time with myself and loving myself and just nurturing self-respect and love just to me, because I have no problem giving that to somebody else, but it was the problem that I wasn't giving it to myself. And so that meant I was accepting a counterfeit version of that from others. So that's why it's really, really important to love yourself first and to learn how you need and want to be treated. Because without that, you are not going to check people when they are giving you less. You're going to be like kind of confused, and you're going to be like making compromises and, floating in the gray area. But now that I know, I'm capable of showing these things to myself, like being loyal, being compassionate, being nurturing, being motivated, like all these things, like having that divine masculine and divine feminine balanced out, and my inner child I've been healing. Like working on receiving love versus just performing for love, because that's not love. But just knowing that I'm worthy and that, other people are worthy too if they're not out to hurt people. They're not being selfish and vindictive or greedy. And that's what this person was giving, just greedy. So I ultimately had to just face the music. Music definitely got me through so much. I started writing my music again after this. Again, I'm telling you, Catalyst just opened up so many aspects of myself that I'm really grateful that are back in the picture, because big chunks of me that I had buried, because there was just a lot of trauma and pain and tragedy that I had gone through. So I just didn't know how to process those things. So I just kind of shut off parts of me so I didn't have to. And now those parts are back. Ironically, through more heartbreak. But that's what I've learned. It's you can use your heartbreak for expansion, or you can use it for constriction. And I was done being constricted. I was done with all of that stagnant energy. I was just fed up with it. And so I really started digging deep and doing the shadow work. And it's not easy. It's not easy, but I'm much happier with the person that I am. I'm happier and more calm with how my nervous system responds to things. I trust myself so much more. And I'm also sober. That's huge. I hadn't been sober for 20 years? 20 years. I loved my Mary Jane. But now I'm realizing I still, that's probably my favorite way to relax. Yes, I love some wine and I love some beer, but they usually kind of mess with my tummy a little bit. They're still good. But but now it's just I try to partake in medicinal, and I'm just it's really strong. I don't know what's happening. And so, there's a healthy balance. I can't go back to how I used to, because yeah, I used to be able to handle a lot, but now I'm whoa, such a baby now. Training wheels back on. So everything in moderation. I'm not judging anyone, not at all. Especially when you use it with intention. So I would definitely still be open to using it for spiritual enlightenment and stuff like that, or just having a good time and relaxing, because that's probably my favorite thing. But at the same time, I'm so much more clear-headed and so much more intentional and so much more capable of self-healing And that's like a power I would never give up again. You know, it's not worth it for anything. And numbing yourself is just a slow death. It's like a slow burial. It's like being buried alive, which is honestly the worst thing ever to think about, but that's what I was doing. So no more of that. I'm much more present, and I'm much more accepting of my journey, and that I'm exactly where I need to be, and that I'm being guided all the time, and I can actually hear and pay attention to that guidance now. You know, I can hear those messages, and I can decipher a lot easier. So that was a good story time. But yeah, I had to touch on one of my worst nightmares that I had recently, because that was gnarly. Like that one got me. I was like, oh well, nope, not doing this. So anyway, I hope that helps, and thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.